By standing and do the pledge of quoting the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Thank you. May I have roll call to confirm quorum?
Mr. Suggs,
Present.
Dr. Woods,
Present.
Attorney Irving, myself, Dr. McLeod, Mr. Johnson.
Present.
Mr. Suggs, I know Attorney Irving is online, probably.
We have 4 confirmed and 1 online that we did not hear. We have a legal meeting. We have quorum. We may continue to conduct the business of the school board. I'd like to move on to agenda item number 2, approval of the minutes from the April agenda item for today. I'm sorry. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion on this motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? The agenda has been approved. Let's move on to item number 3, and I'd like to welcome Ms. Whittington and the Gary Westside Leadership Academy girls track team.
I am here. I apologize for the delay.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening, Dr. Stokes, school board members, and this amazing community here in our beautiful city of Gary, Indiana. My name is Chelsea Whittington, and I am the Chief Public and Community Relations Officer. And as you know, Gary Ready Snapshots is our opportunity to highlight the positive things happening across the district. We had an additional hearing today, which has our school board meeting starting a little later. So if you would allow me to move out of order of our snapshots, and I am going to ask Ms. O'Brien if she would move to the final slide of my presentation, where the big crescendo we're going to kick off in essence of time. If you've watched the news, if you've looked on the magazines, you have seen these young ladies take us to the top downstate in Indianapolis. It is my pleasure to present the Lady Cougars of the Westside Leadership Academy, placing 3rd in the state in the 4x400 relay. We are going to hear from them on what it's like to make history, starting with our athletic coordinator, Mrs. Jeray Protho-Guider, and then we will hear from the champions.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Thank you all so much for having us. It is an honor to be in this position as the athletic coordinator at Gary Westside and the track coach. This is just something that I've been dreaming of since I was a little girl. So to be in this position and to be their coach and to be in front of you all is like a dream come true. 2 weeks ago at the Hoosier State Relays, our girls, we actually qualified and stayed in the shot put, the 4x2 and the 4x400, which is a huge accomplishment. Our girls, we don't have an indoor facility, but every single day they are at practice working extremely hard, and their hard work paid off. And them placing 3rd at state with girls and other people who have a little bit more resources than they do just kind of speaks of their character. So I am extremely proud to be their coach. I'm excited about the future and what outdoor season can bring. But I also wanted to kind of just introduce the girls. We have Kayla Williams, who is a senior. Then we have Priscilla Burden, who is a sophomore. We have Michaela Bird, who is a senior. and Kiara Kaysen, who is a junior. To bring our captain up, Kayla Williams, to kind of just share a couple words on her experience and what she has planned for the future.
Good afternoon, evening. I'm Baby K. My name is Kayla Williams. I've been a member of the Girls Westside Track Team for 4 years, and I am proud of the accomplishments that I have made joining this team. I'm proud to be a captain. Also, I wanted to say that coming in third place with no indoor facility, running through slippery hallways, not being able to put your spikes on, it's really a blessing to become, the top in the state right now. I really appreciate Coach Proto Geiger for everything that she has done.
They're a little shy. They're not usually like this, but it's fine. But they are extremely, extremely proud, and they are very humble. And our outdoor season starts this week. We have our first outdoor meet Friday at Westside. So if you all are available, your support would really be appreciated. It starts at 5 p.m. Thank you.
One more time for the Lady Cougars. And again, we look forward to supporting them on this coming Friday. That would be April 11th, 5 o'clock p.m., 900 Jerry Street, Westside Leadership Academy. And now if you will travel back with me to our first slide of Gary Snapshots. I'd like to take this time to highlight our out of school time program. And this program is some incredible work that is being done within the after school hours. And we all know that statistics and data shows that those hours between 3 and 7 p.m. are critical times for when our young people are active. We want to make sure that they are engaging in things that are positive. And the out of time school program have initiatives that directly support our secondary schools. So that would be middle and high school in their after school initiatives. And it was brought to our district through the 21st Century Community Learning Program. This program supports the creation of community learning centers that provide academic enrichment opportunities during non-school hours for our young people. It helps our youth meet state and local student standards in core academic subjects. And it offers a broad array of enrichment activities that support social, emotional, and behavioral development, and offers literacy and other educational services to the families of participating youth. The program is currently being supported by our out-of-school time coordinator, Dr. Latoria Crum, and she comes to us with a long history of programming experience in the nonprofit sector. One things we want to highlight about this program is the Cougar Clubhouse, and it's something that's across all of the sites in the middle schools as well as West Side, and it's focused on combining academic support with meaningful student engagement, and it's already making a difference. And beyond academics, we are creating a safe environment that's an enriching space where our students can grow and connect with one another. And we are very thankful to have a variety of community partners who also support our efforts after schools through mentorships, guest speaking engagements, field experiences, and much, much more. Across all the sites, we have 17 active after-school clubs running strong. And these clubs include something for everyone, including STEM, creative arts, and helping our students explore their interests. We are here in the district to educate the whole child, and the out of school time program is another nice caveat for us to help our students be the best versions of themselves. On Monday, at 10 a.m., the director of our out-of-school time program, Dr. Latoya Crump, will be one of the guest speakers at Silver Monday at Jay's Breakfast Club, 2601 Broadway in Gary, where she will discuss in detail more about the program and how our community can get involved. So I thank you for your attention on the out-of-school time program. There's more information on our website at garyschools.org. And then our next slide and final slide today is extremely important, and you will continue to hear about this initiative. We ask that you mark your calendars for Saturday, May 31st, from 8:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. We will be at West Side Leadership Academy for the Power of Partnership Parent Conference. And at this time, we will be partnering with our First Lady, Mrs. Crystal Melton, who will serve as our keynote speaker. And the focus is fostering academic success and emotional well-being. This is an amazing opportunity, not only for parents, but those who are supporters and community stakeholders of the Gary Community School Corporation to get involved and get some secrets to successful parenting and just being a responsible village member, to embark on journeys that help raise remarkable young people. You can register by using this QR code. We have copies of the flyer here for you this evening. And again, we want to dispel those myths that our schools are not open to community. We want our parents to be involved in this Power of Partnership Parent Conference is one of the ways that we are showing that we're working together. So again, Saturday, May 31st, 8:30 a.m. We hope to see everyone there so that we can wrap our arms around our children and continue to help them move forward and close the school year out with a bang. Thank you so much for this opportunity, Mr. Suggs, members of the board, and I will turn it back over to you.
Thank you. Moving on to line item 4, public comments. Vice President Johnson, would you read item 4.1, please?
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Pursuant to Indiana Code 5-14-1.5-3, the Gary Community School Corporation Board of Trustees welcomes comments from the community. As a result, the agenda for each regular meeting provides time for public expression. The period of public expression is limited to 3 minutes per individual and 30 minutes total discussion of items on the agenda, or to express concerns relative to the operation of school city, school board actions, and other items of general educational interest. There are many people wishing to address the board. We may limit the amount of time a person may speak. Comments should be directed to the board, not to individual board members. Statements shall not be abusive or argumentative. Persons making comments shall not debate statements made by others. Shall not be permissible to orally present or discuss complaints against individual employees of the Gary Community School Corporation at any Board of School Trustees meetings. Issues related to personnel, individual circumstances, or an individual school will be referred to the building principal or an appropriate administrator in an attempt to resolve the issue prior to an appeal before the board. The speaker cannot transfer the remaining time to another person. The board president will enforce these rules and may take actions necessary to maintain order at the meeting. Such actions may include, but are not limited to, interrupting a speaker if the statement is too lengthy, unduly repetitive, or otherwise violates the rules. The president may terminate the address of any speaker who violates these rules, or limit the amount of time devoted to public comments if there's a huge number of people wishing to address the board, or if there's a large agenda of other business before the board.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Spangler-Berry?
Good evening again. Having gone to the public hearing that we just did, and having had this placed on the agenda as a recommendation that took place before the public hearing was even had, which was strange because the function of the public hearing is supposed to be to determine whether someone's going to be removed, but you made the recommendation, which I question, where was that discussed? At what meeting? What notice was provided for that? Because all of that to me sounds like an ODL violation. Like there was a discussion that happened about removing somebody somewhere at some point. Perhaps in some executive meeting that nobody knows about. Which again, it would be nice to see where that complaint came from and at what point. Anyhow, what I also find to be ironic about this, and again, lots of people feel lots of ways about different individuals. We don't all like each other every day of the week. But if somebody's actually done something wrong, it's important to hear about it. It's important to hear about it in the right format. Ironically, sometime in the past, Mr. Bugs was in the very situation you are, tasked with removing a library board appointee. Oddly enough, he followed statute. There were some aspects, like he did understand there was a difference between a public meeting, a public hearing. There was at least an attempt there. There was a discussion of what had occurred. What had occurred was already a matter of public record. Like, there were back and forths between lawyers. Everything was very, probably a little too legal. And not everybody necessarily agreed with that action, but it was followed. And if there were concerns about even that conduct, shouldn't they have been raised sooner? What is the timing of all of this really about? Because it doesn't seem to be about anything relevant, as somebody else said earlier, to the education of these children. Doesn't seem relevant to the support of our libraries, which are now under attack by SB1, by the way. Doesn't seem to relate to the support of our libraries by our schools or the relationship between those two things. And we have two different accounts from the library, one which was, I guess, not planned but written out, and somebody wasn't going to speak and yet they did, with a written statement, which was odd, who's also your appointee, which is also strange. And then you have other people in the library saying, we don't know what's going on. And that's the sentiment of the public too, I think. We don't know what's going on. Thanks.
Fabina Rasula?
Good evening again, board. Wanted to share information about a program where we've been having all year thus far. Actually started a little bit last year. It is the 100th anniversary of the birth of Brother Omowale Malcolm X, born May 19, 1925. And so we've been having a lecture series all year. We're going to continue it throughout the year. And the next lecture series, the next event takes place this Saturday, April 12th, which is also the anniversary of when Malcolm gave a speech, Ballad of the Bullet, in Detroit. We have coming in town Brother Malik Yakini from Detroit, and he's going to speak on urban farming, controlling the businesses and the politics in your community. And he was very instrumental in the creation of a large food cooperative on Woodward Street in Detroit. If you haven't been there, you should check it out. If you do go there, you should check it out and support it. And that's something that we pretty much need in our community. A lot of times we're referred to as a mini Detroit with the conditions that we struggle with and deal with here in Gary. So that's going to be this coming Saturday, April 12th at Faith Farms appropriately. And it's Black Lives Matter Gary, the United African Movement, and also the Gary Food Council that's putting that on. So we encourage people to please come and check that out, because we definitely
What time,
need
sir?
that. That's at 1:30 at Faith Farms Progressive Community Church. Oh, when we look at Faith,
Go ahead and get an address.
the address is 656 Carolina Street. When we're there, though, we look across the street and we see Emerson in the horrific condition that's in, and we also see plenty of schools like this in our community. And I'm not sure if you all had anything to do with it, or if there's any more schools that are available for sale. But I just think we need to be careful too, because coming up at the city council meeting this Tuesday, they seem to be hearing about having a final about allowing the former Beckman School to have a large light industrial type facility put at that space. And that is something you just don't do. Schools are zoned in residential areas where you also may have some churches and parks and things like that, but not industrial areas. They're trying to get a spot zoning, and we just, as school board members, as a school system, we don't want that in neighborhoods where our children are going to be catching the bus, going to school, where people come home and want to relax and not want to have that extra pollution that we already struggle with, or that extra noise, or again, this truck traffic. I mean, they compare this to one in Chicago where they have like 20 truck bays there that nobody's in yet. It's been like, well, there's like one tenant there that's been there for 3 years, and they're talking about putting this in the middle of a residential neighborhood. They're talking about putting some bakery or something else at Dunbar, Pulaski. No, you don't do that in residential areas. That's why they have zoning. So I would encourage us to go to the city council meeting and not speak out against the spot zoning they're trying to do for this corporation. It's not good for our community, our schools, or our children. Thank you.
Linda Collins.
I thank you once again for the opportunity afforded me to speak. And I regret that some people left, because I did have a correction. I know there's a person here directly connected to Mrs. Morrow, so I'm sure she will know that I had a correction on something that was said. But to get back to this unfavorable comment section, hearing, whatever the case may be, please know that, again, I say this out of love and without hesitation. It was so embarrassing. I'm gonna give you one example. And I implore everyone here to get involved, start coming to library board meetings, school board meetings. I used to bring my children to the school board meetings. We bring the young people so that they can see. It's an educational experience for them. But while in training, the library board was in training on Zoom with individuals from Indianapolis. We had just completed, excuse me, an executive session. Mr. Buggs brought to those people, and it was embarrassing, the problems that he aired to them, things that were discussed in the executive session. Our president tried to stop him and told him this is not the time, these are not the people for you to discuss that with. But being Mr. Buggs, and I love him dearly, don't misunderstand me, you know, it was totally out of order, and it was so embarrassing, and we had to take a recess. Dr. Washington called for a meeting, and then corrected him and told him, you need not do this now. This is not the time nor place. So for those of you that do not know, you know, you've not been to the library board meetings and seen him in rare form. You know, I've seen different sides of him, and I was surprised to see him, you know, carry on the way that he did. Even today, at the sign-in sheet, he confronted me, and I had to stop him. This is not the time. He was surprised that I spoke the way that I did regarding him, just as I am surprised at his behavior, because I've seen him in a more positive note. It's intelligent man. I don't discredit him in any way. you know, kudos to all that he's done and all that he does, you know, in our community. I applaud him for all of that. But it comes a time when we've got to step back, you know, in order to move forward. Let's continue to stress the positive. You know, it's time out. There's so much negativity going on now. And quite frankly, I'm just tired of it. You know, so let's do what's right. Stand up for what is right. I have a problem, and I have to tell some church folks, even in church, we don't always speak up and tell the truth. But we've got to speak up, tell the truth, and correct people when they're wrong. It is okay. And we must agree it's okay to disagree. With that being said, wishing everyone a wonderful day and an awesome rest of your lives.
Robert Buggs.
Good evening, board. Robert Buzz again. I don't normally comment on comments about me, but since we're public, I want to clarify something. The confrontation to which he replied to, I said, thank you. That's all I said was thank you. And that came up to a confrontation. But I just want to let the board know about the laws that you all did break. And it says the removal of a board member. A member may be removed from the board for cause upon specific written charges filed. The person to hear the charges shall fix a date for a public hearing and give public notice days in advance of the hearing. At the hearing, the member is entitled to present evidence and argument to be presented. Now, I'm a Christian. My pastor was not allowed to speak. He sat here patiently. And Mr. Suggs had his name on the list. But again, they dictated to who can speak and who not to speak. What was the pastor going to say that was so demeaning that he was not allowed to speak? He left. Now, I get some, there was a couple here that left was filed with victory, that they got rid of Robert Buggs. And the board got rid of Robert Buggs off the library board. Why? You know, I sleep very good at night. And I will continue to represent the interests of the people and the students. I will continue to let you all know that when you voted not to hear an expulsion of a student from the school in Gary, Indiana, you violated the law because the Gary Community School Corporation handbook says that the school board is the last process in the appellate process. So what you're saying by voting not to ever hear any expulsion cases is saying whatever they did, whether it was wrong or right, we don't care. And that student is going to be recipient of being denied due process as is in the handbook for the Gary Community School Corporation. So I guess you all can do your little victory laps and everything like that. But when I speak and say about me being argumentative, at the library, when it was a training session, when we were allowed to ask questions about certain codes, Indiana codes, that I did. Now, if somebody don't know what a code means or can't understand it, then that's up to them. But it was a training session by Zoom. They didn't complain. I knew what the codes meant, and I asked questions about those codes. Thank you.
Mrs. L. Tyndall.
Thank you. To the superintendent and the board and all in attendance this afternoon. My question, what's the graduating student status? What are the numbers? Tell us about the ranking. Tell me the word regarding the yearbooks of Westside High School. year 23, year 24, and year 25. What's the word regarding reading scores? What preparation has been made to accommodate students who failed the 3rd grade reading test? Thank you very much.
I'd like to move on to item number 5 on our agenda, consent agenda. I don't see a name I missed, but if you.
Give us one moment, please. Ms. Gabrielle, can you make sure you gave us all the forms? We're sorry, there was a form left.
Thank you for bringing this to my attention. We'll go back to the public comments, and this would be Mary Ann Reedus.
No, this is Christy Sass. I thought I'd just save you 10 seconds while I walk up here. Okay?
We'll go in order. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good evening, board members. I'm Mary Ann Canty Reedus, a retired teacher from 29 years of service, and I now work at Beverly School with 15 autistic children, nonverbal. I came to you because I had sent a memo to Human Resources asking for a raise for retired teachers that are in your system. Every one of us are licensed. Most of us have life license. If not, we're licensed from 10 to 15 years. Licensed, master's degrees. And all I'm asking, when you do your proposal, to give us $2.50 more. That's all I'm asking. My next thing is, at Beverly School, we do not have a librarian. I had talked to Dr. Stokes before to use maybe some students from Indiana University or IU who are working in the education, or trying to get a degree in the education department. Maybe they can come in on Monday and Wednesday or Tuesday and Thursday and give us a little time, so that could be one of our specials, that our children can come out of the classroom, go to the library, listen to a story, get a book, and then bring it back the next time. I read to my children every day, so they have the reading in the classroom, but it would be nice if they could leave out of the classroom and go to what I would call a special. Thank you.
Christy Sass.
Okay. I almost didn't come today because I'm tired of trying to say things that we never get answers or anything, but I'm glad I came because that was very entertaining about the library board. Speaking of the library, it's the branch in Miller isn't open on the weekends. It's only open Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and it's not open on Saturday. So I spend a lot of time tutoring at the school with reading, but the kids can't go with their parents on the weekend to get a book. So I just thought, since there's people here that care about the libraries, you know, put in a word. And I did try and go to a library board. I went to the library board meeting. They were half an hour late letting the public in. Then I signed up to speak, and I found out that they do their comments at the end. And I thought, God knows how long this is going to go. So I left. So I'm saying here, please open the Woodson Library on Saturday. And ditto to the library at Banneker doesn't have a librarian either. And, you know, The kids need to get books. We help them learn to read and then they don't have any books. Thank you.
Sandra Starling.
Good evening, board members, Superintendent Stokes, and fellow concerned citizens. Today, I want to make a public declaration of appreciation for Superintendent Stokes and all the hardworking members of the Gary Community School Corporation for leaving no stone unturned to get our McCullough students back into the safety and educational time that they're going to keep. At a time when many would have been satisfied with housing our scholars in another environment, you worked with all your might to get them back to finish the school year in their own school. For those of you who are making the decision about where to send your children for the next school year, I urge you to send them to the Gary Community School Corporation schools. Our system is led by a smart, caring, innovative, and accountable superintendent. We have a union president, Gleneva Dunham, who is a fighter for our children to have a quality education. We have caring employees in our system who put the education of our children first. They are not just there for a paycheck. They love and work hard for our youth, not just for their education, but for their total well-being. Shout out also to our mayor, fire department, police department, NIPSCO, and other utilities members who work tirelessly to provide a safe environment for our students. Thank you.
Hopefully I didn't miss anyone again, but let's move on to item number 5, consent agenda. Item 5.1, entertain consent.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda, items 5.1 through 5.5.
There's a motion on the floor. May I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Is there any discussion on this motion? Hearing none, may we have roll call for approval, please?
Mr. Suggs?
Yes.
Dr. Woods?
Yes.
Attorney Irving? Dr. McLeod, yes. Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
With a response of 4 yes and 1 no response, the motion carries. Move on to item number 6, action items on the agenda. A recommendation on the Gary Library Board appointee dismissal. I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I make a recommendation for a dismissal of the Gary Library Board appointee.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
Second.
Then moved and properly second. Any discussion on this motion? Hearing no discussion, may we have roll call?
Mr. Suggs?
Yes.
Dr. Woods?
Yes.
Attorney Irving? Dr. McLeod, yes. Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
With a vote of 4 response, the motion carries. Mr. Bugs has been dismissed. Item number 6.2, recommendation for an appointment on the Gary Library Board.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, please.
I'd like to recommend Crystal O'Brien to serve as our appointee to the Gary Library Board.
There's a motion on the floor and it has been properly second. Any discussion on this motion? Hearing no discussion, may we have roll call for approval, please?
Mr. Suggs?
Yes.
Dr. Woods?
Yes.
Attorney Irving? Dr. McLeod, yes. Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
With 4 favorable votes and 1 no response, the motion carries. Welcome. I'd like to take this opportunity to have our new board member come up and speak to us and say hello.
Board, Dr. Stokes and community, thank you so much for this appointment. I'm sorry that it came at this time and this circumstance, but I am a mother of a student who is in our district at McCullough Academy, so kudos to McCullough students being back. That was on my shoulders as well. I work as a public relations specialist and in the community in a number of capacities. And I am so honored to be chosen as the appointment for the Gary Public Library Board. It is more than a privilege. It is a personal passion of mine. My daughter and I frequent the library, and it just shows me the light that still exists when it comes to the offerings of our library. And I want our children, all the children in the Gary schools, to be able to experience that. And sometimes there's that disconnect. So I'm hoping that in this role, I'm able to help with that bridge and the relationship between the public schools and the library, and be able to really utilize the resources that exist there, because it's underutilized and it could be so much more. So hopefully I'm able to hit the ground running, and my heart and my energy and my love is to fulfill this role. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. O'Brien. Congratulations. Item number 6.3, I'll entertain approval for the approval of the Heritage Committee proposal.
President Suggs?
Yes, please.
So the Heritage Committee proposal is essentially a proposal to have Senator Spencer, as we all know as Mr. Mark Spencer, who also works for Gary Community Schools, to be have the auditorium named after him. So we so graciously ask that you approve the Heritage Committee's proposal to have that honor.
Thank you, Dr. Stokes. I'll entertain a motion, please.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
I make a motion to approve the Heritage Committee proposal.
I'll second.
Been moved and properly second. Entertain any comments on the motion on the floor?
I second and third and fourth the motion.
Thank you, Dr. McLeod, and I'll fifth, sixth, and seventh the motion. It is my honor to be a part of the vote to honor Senator Mark Spencer. He's been an amazing leader in this city, and it's been such a privilege to be entertained by his presentations that he's made over the years. So this is certainly my honor. Dr. Stokes.
And Senator Spencer would be with us if he could. However, he is doing the gracious work of representing us down at the State House. So we felt that that was a little bit more important than seeing his beautiful face here. So he would normally be with us.
I'm under the impression that I'm talking with Senator Spencer that his mother would be here tonight. Well, I just want to honor her having such an amazing son. Thank you for the gift to us.
Do you want a roll call?
Yes, please.
Mr. Suggs?
Yes.
Dr. Woods?
Gladly, yes.
Attorney Irving? Dr. McLeod, yes. Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
With a vote of 4 yes and 1 non-response, the board eagerly and happily approves the renaming of the Gary Community Westside Leadership Academy Auditorium to the Mark Spencer Auditorium.
So we will officially name it the Mark Spencer West Side Theater Guild.
Sounds wonderful. Item 6.4 on our agenda, request approval for field conference experiences.
I'll make a motion.
There's a motion on the floor. May I have a second? Second. It's been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion on this motion? Hearing no discussion, may we have roll call for approval, please?
Mr. Suggs?
Yes.
Dr. Woods?
Yes.
Attorney Irving? Dr. McLeod, yes. Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
With a vote of 4 yes, 1 no response, the motion carries. Item 6.5, an MOU between Indiana University Northwest and Westside Leadership Academy. I'll entertain a motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion on this motion? Hearing no discussion, may we have roll call for approval?
Mr. Suggs?
Yes. Sorry.
Dr. Woods?
Yes.
Attorney Irving? Dr. McLeod? Yes. Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
With 4 yes, 1 no response, the motion carries. I'd like to ask Mrs. Linda Zaborowski to come up for item 6.6 through 6.8.
Good evening, Gary Community School Board members, Dr. Stokes, and community. As you all know, McCullough was hit with an E1 tornado. It's wonderful news that nobody was injured while this tornado came down on our building. We have had such a process with this, trying to get these students back into the building. With that being said, what I am doing right now in this process, the students are back in the building, but we will have to renovate. So I'm working with our insurance company and the State Board of Accounts. And the reason the State Board of Accounts is because normal bid process for any type of renovation that would exceed in a large amount would need to go through a bidding process. But State Board of Accounts, and I am working on, I would like to read the Indiana code that represents a declaration of emergency. Indiana Code 36-1-12-9. The code says the school board, upon a declaration of emergency, may contract for a public project without advertising for bids if bids or quotes are invited at least 2 persons known to deal in the public work required to be done. The minutes of the school board must show the declaration of emergency and the names of the persons invited to bid or provide quotes. So as it stands right now, we do not have any quotes because I have to work with the insurance company first to get a scope. But what we have done is we have reached out to several vendors that are willing to, once they do get the bid and the specs, they will be bidding on this job. The vendors that we invited was Hassey Construction Company, Powers and Sons Construction, and the Skillman Corporation. So we've exceeded the Indiana code with 2, and we asked 3 to come. So with that being said, I request the board that they approve this declaration as an emergency.
I will entertain a motion for the approval of the declaration of emergency.
So moved.
Motion on the floor, may I have a second?
Second.
Been moved and properly second. Is there any discussion on this motion? Hearing none, may we have roll call for approval, please?
Mr. Suggs?
Yes.
Dr. Woods?
Yes.
Attorney Irving? Dr. McLeod? Yes. Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
With a vote of 4 yes and 1 no response, the motion carries. I would just like to take this opportunity to thank Dr. Stokes and staff for the amazing job that you carried out during that E1 tornado. I was there the night of the tornado and the day after and the destruction that happened in that neighborhood and at that school, and we were all safe, and you did in an organized manner relocate the school and now have our students back home, and I just want to congratulate you for doing an amazing job.
And hopefully, just on that, one more note, we have approximately 2 months to renovate. So that's why we want to really get this process started immediately.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Item 6.7.
So slide 6.7 is a resolution to transfer funds from the referendum to the operations fund. Dr. Stokes mentioned at our last board meeting that I was evaluating our process with how we allocate the referendum funds. Based on the language outlined in the community-approved referendum, the most efficient method for accounting for these funds is to make monthly transfers from the referendum fund to its respective fund that is tied to our human capital and our operations.
I will entertain, I'm sorry.
So
please.
I respectfully request the board to approve resolution number 11.
I will entertain a motion for the approval of resolution number 11.
So moved.
There's a motion on the floor. May I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion on the motion that's on the floor? Hearing no discussion, may we have roll call for approval, please?
Mr. Suggs?
Yes.
Dr. Woods?
Yes.
Attorney Irving? Dr. McLeod? Yes. Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
With a vote of 4 yes and 1 no response, the referendum fund to transfer to operations fund has been approved. Resolution 11.
Thank you. Slide 6.8 again is the other piece of this, and this is the transfer of funds from the referendum to the education fund. I request the board to approve this resolution number 12.
I'll entertain a motion to approve resolution number 12, transferring of funds from the referendum to the education fund. So motion on the floor. May I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing no discussion, may we have roll call for approval?
Mr. Suggs?
Yes.
Dr. Woods?
Yes.
Attorney Irving? Dr. McLeod? Yes. Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
With a vote of 4 yes and 1 no response, the motion carries. Resolution number 12, transferring referendum funds to the education fund.
Thank you.
Thank you. I would like to now ask Dr. Stokes to address item 6.9 on our agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Suggs and our board. So basically what we are trying to ask of the board is to assign what is called the lesser representative for bonds certification of good standing. Typically, you have to have a bonds board that will look at the information with regards to our bond. But for this resolution, we're going to talk about asking you to assign Linda Zaborowski, who happens to be our wonderful Chief Financial Officer, to hold this role until such a time that the board can put out any information that you would want to, as qualifications for a bonds board. And then we ask that you have at least 3 members on that board. All of the members that we used to have either gone on home to glory or have chosen not to be a part. So we do need to have a board, but until such a time occurs, I am asking the board to have Linda Zaborowski be our lesser representative for bond certification of good standing. I do want to read one requirement. Whereas the Gary Community School Corporation has entered into trust indentures related to various bonds, and whereas the trust indentures require the submission of a certificate of good standing for the calendar year ending 2024, which means we have to make sure that we were confirming all taxes, insurance premiums, reports, and fees that we're reporting that they have been duly
paid in good faith, and they have. We have to do that, but I need Ms. Zaborowski to do that because we don't have a bonds council board. So I'm asking if you will allow her to be our lesser representative for bonds for certification of good standing.
Thank you, Dr. Stokes, and based on the determination that it is the president's opportunity to approve this, I approve the CFO, Linda Zaborowski, to be the lesser representative for bonds. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll move on to item 7 on our agenda. Dr. Stokes and Linda, please represent.
Good evening, everybody. This is a very exciting time. We had to go out for an RFP for our food service, and we really didn't think that we'd get that many vendors that wanted to bid. We actually had 9, which is a lot. A normal district typically, would get 3, 4 bids. We received 9. So we are very pleased with the turnout. So what I wanted to go over just quickly is the timeline, because the timeline actually had to be adjusted just a little bit based on, some state requirements. So in February, we did submit to request for a proposal. We had to advertise in the paper. We advertised on March 10th and March 17th and had to provide proof of that advertisement with the IDOE, Indiana Department of Education. March 25th, we walked through all these vendors. There were 19 people here walking through. We walked them through 5 buildings. We visited 2 elementaries, 2 middle school, and the high school. On April 1st, bids were due, sealed bids by 2 o'clock that afternoon. And we actually opened the sealed bids. We had a committee created, and we also had the state representative present via Zoom. We opened the bids, and now we lead to the process of evaluating all of these vendors. And I have to tell you, some of these vendors, they submitted proposals that are 500 pages long. It's been a process. So it is going to take us a little bit. Our original timeline, we were going to actually recommend a vendor today at the board meeting, but we need more time because we want to make sure we're very thorough with this evaluation and what we propose. And then the next part of that process is we have to actually submit it to the state. And the state will go through their process of evaluating those vendors and making sure they are with Indiana code, that they're a representative in Indiana, and that they can service our students. So we plan to present the nomination. Of course, the board will approve it on the May 8th board meeting. Dr. Stokes, would you like to add?
You've done a wonderful job. Nothing else to add. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 8 on our agenda, administrative report. Ms. Morris and Dr. Treadwell.
Good evening, members of the school board, Superintendent Stokes, and members of the Gary community. I am Melanie Morris, the Director of Teacher Development. I am honored to present to you an update on our progress, our partnerships, and our vision for the future. In our department, we take individuals who want to teach, but don't yet have the background, and we give them the tools they need to succeed. And at the same time, we help our certified teachers continue to grow, because Teaching doesn't stop at certification. When teachers are well prepared and continually supported, students thrive. If you want strong schools, we have to invest in the people leading the classrooms. Our vision. Thank you. Our vision is to make sure that all students have access to meaningful instruction that challenges them and connects them to the lives and their experiences. We support this by using curriculum that is relevant and culturally responsible, rigorous as well. And we back it up with systems that help our students and teachers at every level. At the core of our work, we have 5 key values: service, support, equity, accountability, and academic excellence. When these come together, we create the conditions for real academic success in every classroom. So, now that we understand our vision, our next step is knowing how to bring it to life. And that's where teacher development comes in. Our objective is to help teachers grow so that students can thrive. We do that by offering high quality, ongoing professional development that is grounded in proven practices and is not a one-time training. It's about building a culture of continuous learning, collaboration, instructional excellence at every grade level and every subject. So we have some priorities. To bring our objective into action, we have identified 2 key priorities that guide our work. The first priority is instructional coaching. Instructional coaching is all about support, not evaluation. It's a partnership between teachers and experienced educators who serve as instructional coaches. Their role is to collaborate, share proven strategies, and help strengthen teachers' practice in ways that directly improve student outcomes. It's a results-focused menu and teacher-centered approach that encourages growth through meaningful reflection, feedback, and shared learning. So please note that we have literacy cadre coaches and district instructional coaches. In having these 2 types, both play vital roles with different focuses. While district coaches provide long-term embedded support with math and literacy within our Gary schools, the literacy cadre coaches were assigned by the IDOE, the Indiana Department of Education, and they specialize in the science of reading and provide targeted support aligned with the state goals. And together, these coaches create a supportive environment that emphasizes growth, collaboration, continuous improvement for both our educators and our students. Our instructional coaches team are the heart of the work. Let me say that again. Our instructional coaches are the heart of the work, as our team is structured to provide comprehensive pre-K through 12th grade support. And additionally, I want to say, the literacy coaches, the 5 of them in the elementary schools, they focus exclusively on literacy for K through 3, ensuring an in-depth expertise in a critical area. The remaining 9 coaches cover our middle and high, as well as the elementary schools, including subjects for math, STEM, English, SEL, known as social emotional learning, and that support is given K through 12. Priority number 2, teacher development. This continuous process is designed to help teachers build knowledge, skills, and practices they need to ensure their students succeed, providing both formal and informal learning opportunities that are aligned with our district goals. Why teacher development? At the heart of teacher development is the goal of improving instruction to better student outcomes. It is the process that's deeply connected to our district objectives, ensuring that every student is on track to graduate, ready for employment, enrollment, enlistment, or entrepreneurship. Through continuous coaching and opportunities for collaboration, we aim to create an environment where educators are constantly growing and refining their skills. Instructional coaching and teaching development go hand in hand. One more time, please know that instructional coaching and teacher development go hand in hand to create more effective educators. Together, they build a continuous cycle of improvement that enhances teaching quality, and ultimately, student achievement. So here are some highlights from our professional development thus far this year. For Literacy Foundation, we've been strengthening reading instruction in the K-5 classrooms through workshops, numerous workshops, U-Fly, Haggerty, Balanced Literacy. We've had a moment of data-driven instruction where we focus on helping teachers analyze the data to guide the students' reading information. And then finally, our coaching support through modeling, co-teaching, and feedback cycles has directly impacted classroom practices. Teacher feedback is invaluable in shaping how we move forward with these professional development opportunities. One teacher shared that including all the steps in the process is crucial for the student process. And another emphasized the importance of feeling comfortable with the material before she presents it to the class. These insights remind us that effective teaching is not just about strategies, the strategies we use, but also about ensuring teachers feel confident and they're well prepared. As I wrap up, I want to leave with you a few final thoughts. At the core of our efforts is the commitment to growth. At the core, we want everyone to grow, both our teachers and our students. Investing in our educators is ultimately an investment in our students. When we empower our teachers with the tools and the support they need, they create engaged learners who are better prepared for our future. This is about more than just professional development. It's about transforming teaching and learning across our district. Together, we can create a positive and lasting impact on our scholars' educational experience. Thank you for your time and attention today. I appreciate your support as we work together in this district. And now I'll open the floor for any questions.
Thank you for the presentation. Certainly concur with most of what was shared. Are there any opportunities for metrics to be assigned that we will know or can kind of see how many programs an individual teacher would be going through and the results of that training? Or
I'll defer to Dr. Trickler.
Can you give me that question one more time?
I'd like to know, based on the ambition of the presentation, to help bring teachers up to the quality that we all would like, are there any metrics that can be assigned that the board can review how teachers have how many have went through a particular training session, the results of the training sessions, any observations of how much of it they learned, how they're practicing,